This show is a Phonic Media production.
This week, me and Hayley became celebrity VIP. Well, not quite celebrity. We've had a VIP experience, and it led us to asking the question: are you rolling out the red carpet in your business? Hey friend, how the devil are you? I thought we were talking about all this VIP stuff. You haven't even mentioned your PT yet.
What?
On the podcast, have you?
Oh my God, no.
We've got to tell people all about it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hey friends, how the devil are you? Friend, singular. Pretend you're talking to the singular person. Hi there, one friend. How are you? How are you right now? Are you doing good? Okay, fantastic.
How are you? It's a Saturday night in our house, not going to lie.
Saturday night.
We've had...
I like the way you move. Isn't it weird how certain songs...
Everyone just be in a row and just
That's not the weirdest thing. Do you know the weirdest song?
What?
Is Oops Upside Your Head. When everyone at a family party gets drunk and then everyone just like spreads their legs and gets on the floor.
We've
been
been through this before, especially when you're like, oh, and it's like, it hurts. It hurts.
It's like, oh, your Uncle Knobhead's another. Come on, let's get that. Do you know that other one that I don't know, and it really annoys me that I don't know it? It's fucking Candy. You know, you see people.
Candy?
No, Candy. You know that song, and everyone like does the dance. And
I've been loving you like missing you like candy.
Sha-la-la-la-la. I think you're getting mixed up.
Sha-la-la-la-long. No one's doing a dance to that one, James.
No, there's a song called Candy, and everyone does the fucking dance. If you go to like a business networking thing in the evening, at some point some fucker's putting Candy on.
I have never been to a networking event where anyone's put on a song called Candy and got up and started dancing. I have no idea what events you go to, James. But they don't happen.
If you've been to an event and they've put on Candy, if it's a business event and they put on Candy and people started dancing inappropriately to Candy,
sing it.
I don't even know how it goes.
Fly.
Watch how quick my reactions are. Got it.
You didn't.
I wasn't even there, was it?
No.
Anyway. We've had lots of exciting stuff happening this week, haven't we?
We've had a VIP experience, which we're going to come on
VIPs. We VIPed it right up, didn't we?
VIPs.
VIPs.
If I can't abbreviate, you can't say VIPs.
VIPs.
So we're gonna talk about that.
Louis was so excited about being a VIP,
That's what the whole show is about. But it's been an exciting week. As you know, I've been on a bit of a health journey. Someone who absolutely fears going to the gym.
Previously feared.
I started working with a fabulous young lady who was giving me some sport massages. I don't know if it's an age thing, but I've suddenly been getting really bad back, haven't I?
Yes.
So she was recommended to us.
Is it an age thing, or is it the fact that you hunch over your laptop for 16 hours a day?
All day.
And then all night as well? I just got to do this.
I don't care. I love it. I'll take that. Anyway,
you get both massages.
Big news, guys. I decided she also does PT, and it's something that I've always thought, oh, maybe one day, but it just scares me because I'm so used to, no offence, but PTs who it's all about like getting fit and eating chicken and brown rice 4 times a day, and I've seen it with PTs? You. You've been there, haven't you? The meal prepping, I'm like, fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so I met this young lady who I'm going to shout her out in a minute, and just by like generally chatting every time we met, I was like, God, she's a smart cookie.
She's 23 years old.
She's 22, I think, or maybe 23. When she was 16, she took herself into a gym and thought to herself, I'm never going to know how to train as well as the people in this gym, so I'm going to pay a PT to train me.
At 16 years old.
Like that?
She's like, if I want to be as good as these, like, I need to just learn from someone, so I'm going to get myself a PT.
Helped James with his injury before the marathon.
She saved me, I reckon.
And she's just so wise and just so... Like, you know, we've been talking about like gratitude manifesting. Everyone's going to get bored of us going on about it. But she is just this person who just talks positively. So like if I'd be saying, about, you know, like, I don't know, like,
but not in a bullshitty way.
Yeah,
even. Not
I haven't been out walking, or I haven't done this, and she'd just be like, you know, like, we just have to remember, like, how grateful are we that we can get up and walk? Because like some people, sadly, if they can't, or they're in a position, maybe they're really overweight and their health doesn't allow them to, and she just sees things in such a positive light. Anyway,
especially for 23.
So she put a package together for me where it's almost like 2 times a week. She puts an online program for me. Then we meet once a month, and then we do some PT-ing together. She sort of teaches me some new exercises, and then she gives me the back massage. Fantastic for me because I can work it around family life, schedule. And the most amazing thing is that one time I couldn't get to the gym, and I said to her, is there any way I could do like a home workout? And she gave me this whole home workout. I was absolutely shattered, but in a way of like, so it's interesting. I'm waffling a little bit, but it's not about,
glad you said it.
It's not about doing an hour and like sweating and feeling like, yeah, like I've really done something. It's like, she's making me properly use all of my muscles. Like it's a lot of like stretching and holding positions.
Show everyone, if
like
you're watching
weights.
this, show me muscles. Show me muscles. Absolutely stacked. Fucking stacked.
To be fair, you did it the other day and I was like, oh my God, my bingo wings are going.
As a joke, she was like, I feel my muscles. I was like, oh, fucking hell. Squeeze it. I was like, it's actually quite impressive, to be fair.
I would never have done weights. The point being is that she comes from a place about, it's not really thinking about the aesthetics. Like if someone has come to her, she said before, like, oh, I really want to get fixed. I've got a wedding in August and I really want to look good. That doesn't really appeal to her.
No, she doesn't train for aesthetics. She said that the other night, didn't she?
She's about training for you to feel stronger. So she loves working with people of my age, women who are, you know, going through pregnancy. She's looking into helping women who are going through like perimenopause, that kind of stuff, because she really is about like starting to feel better in yourself. So I'm keeping like a food log, but again, she's like, yeah, no, you know, you're eating a really balanced diet. Yeah, sometimes at the weekends you're eating a bit more, you know, like unhealthy potentially, but in the week you're really good. So there's no point in getting really stressed about it. Because you want to, you know, you want to be able to sustain, like it be sustainable. Anyway, I just absolutely love her. She's so great, and I'm going to shout her out.
This is a side job for her at the moment as well.
So it's a side
she's
job.
An unbelievable, the work ethic this kid has got. 23 years old.
But do you know why it's her side job? Because she's got such a wise head on her shoulders that she can see if she has this job that she's in, which she's doing really well in. It almost like it's guaranteed income. Does that make sense? She knows what she can put by, then she can get the house. That like it's very fascinating.
I was not that wise at 23.
I wasn't thinking like we think about.
We're not that wise now.
Like we were abroad, probably still hanging out abroad, like just living our best life, not even thinking about that. But she's just amazing. So her name is Hattie, but the business is called Transform with Hattie, and you're going to see lots more of Hattie because we're actually going to help her form a little bit of a brand around what she does, because I'm so passionate about what she does that I just really want to help her. So
straight away when we said about that,
go on Instagram, Transform with Hattie, and she is one to watch for sure. But I just want to say, like, I feel so much stronger. I've got way much more energy.
You feel much better in yourself as well, don't you?
This big news, like a mum from the school was like, oh, I go to the gym. There's this new lift club. Do you want to come with me on Thursday morning? And I was like, yeah, I'll book it. I went and did a lift club.
Fucking lift club.
I'm just lifting weights. But the point is, I'd never have done that.
Beast mode.
It would have been, I'd have just feared it. But I was so much more comfortable. I just did what I could do.
You went to the gym this morning, didn't you? You came out, you said I had to go to the big weight bit.
The big weight bit with like all of these guys like lifting these weights. There's me in my like 5kg. 5kg, he's like, yeah.
But you didn't care, did you?
Didn't care.
I told you, didn't I?
No one's walk around like that, fuckers. Not really.
No one's looking at you.
No one gives a shit.
No one cares.
No one cares. Anyway, that was just a complete side note. But then, as we've been saying about manifesting and what the universe is there, like guiding you.
By the way, if you're not a positive person, if you just tune in for the first time ever, don't listen, because we're hyped on the good vibes.
We are so good vibes. Sorry, my slippers come off. I'm just like falling down. So we were sat the other day. You were working from home on a Thursday. Very rare that you work from home. And we were going to record a podcast.
Flies back.
But you were doing some like legit stuff, weren't you? Like some sort of, what are you?
Big in the game, guys.
What are you? Some sort of...
I'm now on the University of Greenwich business and marketing. I'm one of their advisory board. I'm a board member.
Gosh.
Fucking big in the game.
Scraping the barrel.
They were desperate. And I said, hell yes. That's how I generally like to do it. I like to get them desperate.
How cool is that though?
Yeah.
That is actually really cool.
So I get to help them help because there's a lot of like very clever people. There's a professor who'd done like, we've been looking at the impact of AI on LGBTQ travel. I was like, what the fuck? Is that even a thing?
For what purpose?
just they do all these research things.
But do they just research?
They just research the shit out of everything, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, you know, like be the dumbest person in the room. You're in the right room. Definitely the right person in the room.
But sometimes you bring a different perspective. Anyway, well done on that.
Thanks. So that was Thursday.
So, but we didn't have time to record a podcast.
That's not the best
thing
about
Thursday. We sat having lunch, and I said to James, come on, what are we doing? Like, we love this podcast. Like, we love you. We love recording it.
Love you.
But the truth is, we then record it, and then we don't really think about it until the next week.
For context, this is 20 to 9 on a Saturday night.
This
is
just
the first of 2
being
recordings.
Completely honest, so, but now things are changing. Okay, so
James's
team are going to be more involved, aren't they?
Yes.
Getting our content out there. I'm going to be a bit more proactive in making a bit more content for our Instagram, and we're just going to be, because we love it, and we get so much good feedback. Anyway, so we're sitting there, and I said, James, we've got to have a word of ourselves. We both say how much we love this podcast. We have this dream of what it could become. Imagine doing a live stage show, all these things that we love. But none of it's going to happen if we don't put the effort in. We need to give ourselves a kick up the bum. Then it was like, bing, a message comes through.
So we were getting a bit stroppy, weren't we? We were like, well, there's no point doing it. No one doing it. We're not going to take it seriously.
I'm going, do you just not want to do it? Like, just be honest with me. You just don't want to do it. And you were like, no, it's not that. I do love it. It's just, you know, we get busy. It's the same old excuses. And then this happened.
So we're just talking about your podcast, everybody in the room. We've got, how many? Nearly 20 of us. How much do we love it?
We love it.
We love it. Why do we love it, though?
It's fun.
Straight talking. Authentic.
Relatable. It's like you're eavesdropping.
Everyone loves your podcast. There you go. Just saying, you were name dropped. In fact, what happened was someone in here went, I've got a friend who does a podcast, and they're a couple, and they talk about their business, and I was like, oh yeah, a bit like Hayley and James. She's like, that's who it is. There you go. And I think Laura and Jeff were on the podcast as well.
Laura's on a couple of weeks ago. So there you go.
Honestly, so that was Lucy and Shakir. She was at the academy where she's got like a big group of female founders that she coaches. So they were there for an in-person day. So there's about 20 of them all talking about our podcast. And then they took the time.
And that message came through.
So I want to say a massive thank you to Lucy and all the academy gang, because that really was so poignant at that moment, it coming through. We
came in about 5 minutes after.
Like,
that fucking
is the
weird.
Universe that is telling us to pull our fingers out of our arses and to do more. So we're going to do more. And then hopefully by doing more, you guys might interact with us a bit more. Not that I'm telling you off.
Feels like it though, doesn't it?
It's a little like telling you off.
And then we went to an event that day.
And this is what's leading into. So we got invited to a VIP experience. Now, if you know James, he also
got invited to a dinosaur park.
Oh my God.
That's ferocious, isn't it?
The grand opening
just to settle us down.
Of the Dinosaur Adventure Park at Marsh Farm in Chelmsford, which is run and owned by James Sinclair, who is your podcast pal, isn't he?
He's my podcast pal, yeah.
You are on the James Sinclair Business Podcast.
Yes.
And he is, no lie, one of the biggest fans of our show, right?
He loves it.
So do you remember
he shoved me out of the way. He went, now move out of my way so I can see my favourite podcast.
The first time I meet someone who is like a fan, I'm going to like take a picture. And I totally didn't, because I was so taken back. Because we turn up at Marsh Farm and we're coming to the gates, and I can see James standing there and like a couple of the staff who were going to shout them all out.
Madam Mayor was on her way. Madam Mayor was coming.
And we walk in, and then he was just like, get out the way, James. Let me talk to my favourite podcaster. And he just gave me this massive embrace. And I was just like, oh my God, you're like one of the biggest fans that keeps the show going. Because I say to James Sinclair tells us just to keep doing it. So a massive shout out and a thank you to James Sinclair because he has been an integral part of this.
But then it wasn't just James, was it? Jimbo.
Then we had Aaron. He came along.
AKA WhatsApp fingers.
Oh my God.
Nothing sinister there. He just happened to have picked up loads of WhatsApps on the way to cleaning stuff up.
So happy to meet me. I couldn't shake his hand. He had WhatsApp fingers. I mean, no one wants to shake WhatsApp fingers. Yeah, what is that fly?
Tracy, Jimbo's PA, listens.
Oh, legend.
Stevie, who is James's short form video editor, she listens.
Yeah. Chuds, does he listen?
Chuds, nah, it's not his cup of tea. Chuds is well cool. He don't listen to any of Jim's content, I don't think. Who else was there? Jazz listened to it.
So good.
Maddie, who I got chatting to at the end, was talking about it again. I was like, this is mental.
It was just so... It was weird because I was there like embracing them and this amazing experience, and then they're like, oh yeah, love the podcast, and it was like, oh, is that fly on me?
Yeah, it was. It's just laid an egg in your head.
Why is it flying around? It's going mental.
Because in the title,
we thought once that like a fly had been reincarnated.
What?
As your dad. Do you remember at the wedding when we got married and I had a fly in my veil? Oh
yeah, fly in your veil.
And I'm sure it was like your sister who was convinced that your dad had come back as like an insect.
She would say.
Anyway, side note.
Anyway,
I wish I'd got a photo of my like first fangirl experience.
So Hayley's had her first fangirl moment. So if you're the second person that comes up to her now, she'll be less excited.
No, I'll still be excited. But no, we got invited to the VIP opening of their Dino Adventure Park, and Louis, our eldest, is a massive dinosaur fan.
So this was the press launch of it. So no one had been in there before. So it was brand new. No one has used it. Yeah,
it was amazing.
It was great. It was great.
Good. And I mean, Louis and George, both, we all loved it, to be fair. Louis is a massive dinosaur fan, like to the point, like...
And George is, to be fair.
Yeah, more Louis, but George is a bit...
George goes along with it.
Louis like convinced he's going to be a paleontologist. His bedtime reading is like a dinosaur encyclopedia, which is like, yes, and this dinosaur has massive teeth, so we can just rip the flesh off its prey. I'm like... Not sure this is bedtime reading, Louis, but okay, we'll go with it.
Great parenting, you say?
Great parenting. But it was just so good. And we all counted down, didn't we, from 10, and they cut the ribbon, they had all this confetti cannons. It was so good.
The park itself is amazing. So if you've got kids who like dinos, you've got to go and see it.
So Marsh Farm, just before, as it was amazing.
Yeah, it's such a good visitor attraction.
Out. There's loads of outdoor play. There's like some shows, interactive areas, animals.
Probably the best climbing frame that Louis ever been on.
Climbing frame. And then now they've made this addition of this whole dinosaur area.
But you can just go to the dinosaur park for free as part of it.
I know,
like, it's mad.
So it's got like this beautiful walkway with all these like huge dinosaurs. It's got like a dinosaur dig area, and then it's got this big building that's got loads of interactive play inside for dinosaurs. And one of the most amazing things, if you get to go or do go, is they've got an interactive area where you can draw a picture. No lie, this is going to blow your mind. You can actually draw a picture of a dinosaur and they will scan it in, and then you see it on a screen. So it's like walking with dinosaurs, and it walks around.
The thing that you've just made.
Absolutely phenomenal. Like Louis and George couldn't believe it. It is.
They have a triceratops, a live triceratops.
They did have a live triceratops.
A live triceratops
it was real,
comes out.
Obviously. And Louis going, no, it's not. I can see the zip. I'm like, shut up.
It's a vibe sniper.
Real. Honestly, just such a great day out. And it just made us think about, you know, like that was a VIP experience, wasn't it?
Yes.
Go in, the atmosphere, it was friendly, welcoming. And it just got us thinking about, are you rolling out the red carpet for your clients? So before we go into that, I think we have to do an official small business shout out.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Here we go.
So this week's small business shout out is to the one and only Dino Adventure over at Marsh Farm. If you are in the Essex area, even if you're not in the Essex area, get yourself to the Essex area. Marsh Farm in and of itself is an amazing park to go and visit. Brilliant day out for the whole family. Great visitor attractions. There's sand pits, there's play areas, there's soft play bits, there's mini golf, there's a llama, they've got an outdoor beach. And then if that's not enough, they've got tractor rides, they've got shows, they've got farmyard animals. And then if that's not enough, the dino park is there as well. It's brilliant. You'd pay 15, 20 quid just to go to that bit, let alone that being included within your ticket.
Such good value. So go to Marsh Farm.
Yes, go check out the dino park. It
really is a fun day for all the family.
It is. You can find out more. I'm sure it's marshfarm.co.uk, or just Google it and you'll find out more information about the dino park, and it is just open. I'm sure it's going to become one of the best dino attractions in the United Kingdom. And what we saw wasn't even fully finished. He's got big dino heads that are going on. He's got there's going to be like a dino show area. It's brilliant. It's
just great.
It was good. But as Hayley mentioned, as well as it being a brilliant day out, it was also good food for thought in terms of we got treated brilliantly and everyone there got treated brilliantly. The whole experience being so well thought out, and it led us to thinking, do you roll out the red carpet for your clients? What ways are you doing it?
Yeah.
What ways could you be doing it? And what ways could you treat your clients like VIPs?
Yeah.
Because that exchange of value, or the exchange of money for the value that you give your clients, that's one thing. But how can you go above and beyond? Jimbo calls it a customer cuddle. He's like, how can you give customer cuddles?
That. And the thing is, right, that I really want to make clear, that it's not always about the big grand gestures. Does that make sense? So I was thinking about it on like two ways. So you've got say like if you're a service provider, or a product, you are selling a product or a service, right? Yeah. So obviously that in itself has to be bang on, right? It has to meet their needs, deliver what you tell them it's going to deliver. Okay, so let's just take that as a given, okay?
That is good. The thing is good.
The thing is good. The product's good. The service is good. So this is like the extra little bits. And I was thinking about this because it's interesting. When I started coaching with a lady a few years back, I remember we all went to our first coaching session, and it sounds like such a little thing, but on the table was like a free notebook that had their logo like engraved in it, a little pen, and I think there was like a free book for us to read. And I was like, it just blew my mind because it was free. And then not because it was free, but it was just that little touch of like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. It's those little extras. Now, I am someone that constantly thinks like, I need to have something that's like regimented. But what I've worked out is like, it doesn't actually always, it can be fantastic. But sometimes it's just like those spontaneous things that you can do. I would say it's about connecting with your clients and having that personal touch. Yeah. So, like, I was writing down a list of things, for example. So you
used to do it though, didn't you? You'd send out.
I do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Logos. I still do. Their logos in artwork.
Sorry, I'm just burping.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's that hammock and chip. It's just.
I love the fact you didn't like stop yourself. You just apologised for it, then still did it.
I mean, you heard that voice note. They like it because we're real and authentic. I just got to move my legs. Sorry.
What are you doing?
I just feel like I've got to like cross my legs.
She can't move, guys. She's got so much energy these days. She's got a new PT.
So
she just can't sit still.
Sometimes I might send a box of chocolates if it's the end of a project. Yeah. Ideally, they're orange chocolates, which is a nice touch because of Orange Land.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yep, I've sent clients framed images of their logos. I've sent hampers at Christmas. I've sent luxury candle. Like, it can be all different things.
I think it's even more important if you're a service-based business and the offering is almost intangible. So, like, what you do is quite... it's obvious what they've got. Yeah. Because they get a bunch of stuff. Yeah. They've got a website, they've got a logo, 100%. They get branding, they've got their content and their assets. If you are like one of the businesses or one of the verticals that we're about to launch is CRM systems. Yeah. Now, it's not really that sexy and exciting. No. Don't get me wrong, it changes the game in terms of front-end marketing and back-end ops. But you've got to almost like add value to stuff. If it's a bit more of like podcast, for example, podcast production. Yeah. Once you get a client who's getting their podcast done, they don't get anything physical, if that makes sense. They don't. Yeah, we make them a bunch of assets and stuff. But let's say, for example, some clients.
That fly could fuck off.
I'm going to get it in a minute. I'm going to punch in the face. Punch in the face. Go on, get it. Get it with your new energy.
My bingo wing's not even
there. Not even there. It's not even there. Before you could have whacked it with the wing. Could have been an aftershock.
No, sorry. Going back to that, I took George out today, which was supposed to be this lovely like date day. It was actually really nice. And we was in the toilets in M&S and he went for a wee. And then I was like, right, Mummy needs to go now. But he wasn't moving out the way. I went, George, can you just move out the way? He's like, I am. He's like, you've got a really big bum. And I was like, oh, thanks, have I? He went, yeah, you're just massive. And and you're like, oh, I bet there must be someone sat in the cubicle next door just absolutely howling with laughter. Anyway.
Where was I going with that?
Podcast, you're shouting at you're great at podcasts.
So,
that's all. You're talking and all I'm hearing is I'm great at podcasts.
What I was saying is that if you've got a service and there's not that tangible, it's really important to make tangible stuff, I think.
Yeah.
So we've just done a podcast launch, actually. I'm great at podcasts. And it went into the charts like number 71. So what we were going to do, we've made a bunch of assets. We're going to get them done into mix tiles. We've got the artwork, their position in the charts.
Such a good idea.
And there's like a nice little 3-image frame. But for example, with this, they got 2 co-hosts. So we're going to get 2 lots of them printed so they can put one in one office and one in the other office. And it's going to cost like, what, 20 quid, 25 quid to send it out? Couldn't make it up, could you?
Look, like this, right?
Got it. I got it.
Not that anyone joins in.
Elbow.
Not that anyone joins in, but like even giving out a mug.
Yeah.
It's all part of the experience.
It's all part of the listener experience.
But
if you like this in your ears, imagine it in your face. There you go.
But also on an even smaller level, especially like if you've got clients that you're working with like ongoing, like like remembering an important day. It doesn't necessarily have to be their birthday. I don't mean that, but it could be like, say they've said, they've been invited to like a really cool event or an award.
They're doing their first webinar
or something. It's like remembering that and going, hey, how did the webinar go?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Because you're connecting with them on a level. And I think that's why, now I'm going to shout how great I am. But I think that's why. No, but seriously, because I've got a client who I absolutely adore, who I worked with for a year. Then she went off to do some other bits and pieces, and then she's come back because she's like relaunching.
Tail between her legs.
No, not at all. It's not like that. I'm not like that. You can
do it by yourself.
No.
See,
I'm actually not like that.
I am.
You are. I'm not.
I'm a right dick. That's why
people when they
come back to me a second time and they mug me off twice. I was thinking about that guy in the garden today.
Let's not go there.
I'm not finished with that fucker. I've decided.
But anyway, this client's come back to work and we just have such a great relationship. And I've realised that I do form quite a bond with my clients because I think it is that extra, it's like a genuine interest. So like I've got a client who we've gone on this amazing journey of creating this brand, but she has never ever posted really on social and it makes her feel physically sick generally every time that she's posting. So I've been like pushing her, right, come on, you're posting today, off you go. She does it. She sends me a puke emoji, but I'm like, well done. It will get easier. And it's like, I know that will help long term. So rolling out the red carpet, it doesn't have to be an extreme. It doesn't have to be extreme. No. It's just thinking about those little extra touch points that make you go, wow. It's like from me, for example, like what I would say to any business on a small level, making sure that every touch point looks nicely branded and it looks, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It really upholds your company and the values.
Talk about on the other end of the spectrum though, and I had a great experience of that this week. I think it was Thursday again. Thursday was the day, wasn't it, for us this week? So I dropped my phone on several occasions and it was now in about 13,000 fucking pieces.
You have just given up on anything to do with life admin, haven't you?
Yeah, it just annoys me. I just haven't got the time for it.
We moved in December and he hasn't even changed all of his bills and things over to the new address.
No, I keep forgetting.
Go away, fly.
Anyway, so I had to get a new phone. And back in the day, you'd have to get the SIM card and copy the SIM card and put it into the new phone and copy all your data over. That was like version 1 of mobile phones. And then show my age here. And then you used to be able to go into the shop and then they would download the data and they'd put it into the new phone for you and all that. And I was thinking, is that what you have to do? I can't remember what I'd done last time. Maybe I did do that last time around. Why are you clicking at it now? Like it's your minion. Fucking done it though, didn't I? How did it get out? I smashed. If anyone could get a slow motion replay of that, I've just punched that fly there. microphone picked up
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm editing none of that. I'm editing none of that.
I spat out my tea and I farted, and then I nearly wet myself, and I thought I nearly wet myself.
Oh my God. It came through crystal clear, that fart as well.
I nearly wet myself.
I'm not deleting
I
either.
actually thought I'd wet myself. Maybe I have.
I punched a fly. It fell in the tea. I tried to drown it in the tea by swooshing it, but then swoosh, it dived back out again. And then holy shit herself.
Oh, do you know what?
Should we just end the podcast there? Oh, so good.
I can't even edit it out because we're all about, we don't edit.
No, you got tea all over you. You got tea down your boobs. Oh, this is all kicked off. Oh, right, let's get back to the point. Anyway, iPhones are great. That's the fucking
It's so funny when you're at that age where you can't hold gas. You can't hold gas in or out anymore.
So anyway, the experience with the iPhone was that it recognised, turn on the new one, it recognised that there was another iPhone next to it. It said, do you want to transfer your data? I said, yes. It literally via Bluetooth can change all of it within an hour. Anyway, and I didn't shit myself. Unlike
I didn't
Hayley.
shit myself.
Oh, you nearly
I've
did.
just got a lot of gas, but again, blaming perimenopause. Just started some new tablets actually called Happy Mammoth that helps with bloating.
By the way, I've nominated us for a British Podcast Award, so hopefully the judges will be listening to some of these upcoming episodes. So if you
I can't even be bothered.
If they like farting, then that's going to be an absolute win. I don't think we can carry on. I think we just go to the podcast there. We're talking about VIP experiences. You nearly VIP'd on the floor.
I literally nearly pee. I do it a lot. I'm going to have to... What do I need to do?
I cannot wait to listen back to hear how loud that fart is on a microphone.
Can't even edit it out.
Because you were just...
It's just the way you're talking about punching. We're not finishing.
Punching a fly. I think we should.
No, we can't.
That fly's back. Look at him. He's sat there. Fuck you, man.
We shouldn't be kidding flies. Anyway,
why not?
Let's get back on track just for a few minutes.
Who cares? Who actually cares at this point?
No.
Who cares? Right, let's give some examples of good customer experience.
So you spoke about the iPhone. When you went on
Here
GB
is some
News,
good customer experiences.
When you went on GB News, and they
Five Phyllis.
They sent a chauffeur for you.
They did send the chauffeur. That was
you were like,
I thought I was big in the game. Turned up and it was a fucking Volkswagen Polo, but I was like, where's one of their
and this one's
ones.
extreme. When I worked with Psychic Sally, we went to Australia on tour. And we flew first class, and that was just incredible. Like, you know,
I remember you getting there. You're like, I've been like 6 times already.
Ridiculous amount, but you turn left, and they're just like, "Here's some champagne. Here's your menu. Would you like to pick something you want to eat?" My menu? Yeah. Do you want? Are you dining alone, or is someone joining you in your cabin? I'm like, what the? You can like have 2 people sitting eating for dinner. And then when you're ready to sleep, they bring you some pajamas and they make your bed for you. It's just crazy.
I did that on the way back from South Africa once. Yeah. It was the biggest waste of 1,500 quid ever because I got on the plane, I was so tired, I literally just fell asleep. And I was like, that cost me like 200 quid an hour. I was only on the flight, 200 quid an hour. I didn't fucking experience it. I went to sleep.
If you're paying for first class.
Sat at the bar and had a selfie, obviously.
I'm sure, of course you should. Look at me, first class. But yeah, if you're flying first class, you do expect that. But then on a small level, there's a coffee shop around the corner called Mirabelle.
We love Mirabelle.
Shout out a lot.
First ever small business shout out.
When they opened, everyone gets this little biscuit, didn't they, with their coffee?
Oh, a little shortbread, yeah, handmade shortbread.
And then they made you
They made me a flapjack for the marathon because you went to see them that day, didn't you? You went and got a coffee. They said, make sure you send James in today because he's got something to pick up for him.
So good. And this one, which I just thought was amazing, we'd ordered a fridge and from AO.com.
Let's go.
When they turned up,
good audio branding.
They fitted the fridge and then they saw that we had like a child, and he came out and he gave him a free AO teddy bear. This green teddy bear, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, that's so sweet. I've actually got 2 kids. And then like I think Georgia come running out and he went back to the van, didn't he?
Can't have a teddy.
2 green teddies.
2 green teddies.
Amazing.
Isn't that mad though? But that experience, it just goes to show it's not just like the big thing, but it's also whoever delivers the frontline service.
Yeah.
Like no one's told that guy to do that.
No.
He's just decided to do
I hope they did.
Just drive around with...
Hello there, do you want a fridge? And some teddies.
I hope not some random guy giving out teddies off the back of a van.
Maybe not. But
no, yeah, they were amazing. And then we're going to move to the bad
experience.
Service. And do you know what?
Just so much right now. I fucking hate
I'm not
bad
a serial
customer service.
complainer by any means, but
I am
someone now, as I've got older, that will quite happily let them know if something's not quite right, I'm not happy. Not in an angry way. I'm very much like, because I think it's just feedback, right? And it's how people deal with that can be bad or good. Mm-hmm. But there's just sometimes, like, I don't even know if I spoke about this. It's like I was trying to think of like those bad customer experiences, and at the end I just come up with some things that just generally piss us off. I feel like we might have done this before, but I remember being on holiday for the weekend at one of the Park Dean resorts, and we'd gone for dinner. Now, you know you're not going to get fine dining, admittedly, but we'd ordered. I think the people I was with had the app already, so they ordered. I didn't, so I was like, oh God, I've got to get the app. Ordered, and no lie, it was like 45 minutes, no food. The others had all eaten. But it was more the fact that they just never told you anything, and I had to keep chasing them. Oh, yeah, we're just really busy. Oh, it's like the next ticket. Okay, so I'd ordered this like gluten-free burger, and it was like this delicious like beef burger with this chipotle
Weren't you with
mayo
Louis as well, though?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? So
and
he was sitting there without any food
like,
either.
Beautiful stuff and chips, and it came out about an hour later, and no lie, the chips were half like charcoal, and the burger didn't have any of the mayo, and it was just like slapped together, and I was like, what is this? I was like, where's all the stuff? Oh yeah, we've run out. And I'm like, I was absolutely fuming. I was like, do you know what? Take it back. Not interested. I don't want it. But it was just like, I sound like my uncle's laughing. So he's like, oh my God, you were so angry. I was like, because how they dealt with it. If they had come over and said, look, we're so sorry. We've had a massive backup at the kitchen. Your food's going to be about 45 minutes. At least you've got the opportunity to be like, do you know what? Can you just leave it? Because I've got 2 kids that are really hungry. Or at least they're saying like, we understand that this isn't good enough, and thank you for your patience. And then it comes out like looking like an absolute piece of shit. I was like, I'm just not going to...
A complaint is an opportunity to turn someone into a mega fan. 100%. That is the opportunity to turn them into a mega fan.
So I was like, no, I'm not going back. It's like we had it recently. We went to Zizi's, and one of the boys who was with has celiac. And normally Zizi's
that's
are really,
like
really good.
serious, isn't it? Celiac.
And so my friend had been like, you know, can he have like this starter? Because it's definitely like gluten-free and celiac. And the guy's like, yeah. And then when they bring it out, I don't even know how we sort of like, I think she was looking and she was just like, are these definitely like gluten-free? Because it looks like they've been in the same fryer. They were like, oh yeah, it's cooked in the same fryer as everything else. She's like, right, well, that's a problem because he's like celiac. He can't have any cross-contamination. And the guy, rather than just being like, I'm so sorry, like, we don't have that facility. I'm really like, apologise. Let me take this away. Is there anything else I can get? He just went, well, you know, it was the only option I could put into the system. That was the only option that was gluten-free, and got really, really like annoyed.
Oh, I didn't even hear him say that.
Oh, and I was like, it's just that. Like, if he just said, oh my God, I'm really terribly sorry about that. Can we get something else as a starter?
I think at one point, about 10 years ago, I'm sure we went for a phase where people wouldn't say sorry because almost that's an admission of like guilt.
I don't know, but yeah, okay, even not sorry is like, I don't know, but it just... Like another thing, Virgin Media, we've moved into like this house and we had to go with Virgin Media.
We had a very bad experience with
them before. We said we would never go with them again because we had such awful experience, as in we had the worst internet and they were so rude. They were constantly going to say they were giving us refunds and
hours, wasn't it? We spent trying to get our money back.
And again,
an anti-shout out.
The last 3 weeks, it's just like...
Internet's just dropped off a cliff.
Yeah. And then you can't speak to anyone, and all they say, yeah, no, it's fine. And on the Virgin bandwagon, I go to Virgin Active, right? Which the gym itself is fine, like it's really nice. But there's no like... I'm not talking about the individual instructors. Some of the instructors I had like are really nice. But it's the experience. Do you know what I mean? Like there's this massive, what do you call it? Foyer reception. Yeah. It's huge. And there's normally only like 1 or 2 people there. But there's no like, hey, how are you today? What are you here doing today? Like, there's no interaction. Do you know what I mean? Like, think about what people are going there for.
They've never been good at it. I used to go there back in the day, like 10 years ago, and they were bad then as well, to be fair.
It's just, anyway, so then I was like, just things that piss me off. So let's just talk about, to end this, things that piss me off.
This is cheerful.
Like farting on a show. Does that piss you off, or does that just make you laugh?
Oh, it just makes me laugh. I feel bad for you for the heat that you're going to get. Because imagine the YouTubers.
Oh,
imagine
no.
that. Do you remember Pissy Pete? He didn't like the fact that you had an issue with cats. Imagine now, he'd be like, oh, that flappy ass.
Flappy ass?
Flappy ass.
Flappy ass?
Loose ass. You can't control yourself.
I can't, clearly.
Loose ass.
Take one for the team, aren't I? I can just see it.
Oh,
I can see the clips.
Pissy Pete's going to be back.
I can see the clips. Did Pissy Pete ever come back?
No.
They never come back.
They never do.
So, things that piss us off. Let's go. Things that piss us off. So, one of my biggest ones.
I know what you're about to say. The shop thing.
When you're in the shop and people don't talk to you.
Because they're talking to their mate.
And they don't acknowledge you. And I just think,
it was like,
so rude.
He's like really, he's trying. So we like went for dinner and stuff. But
and you're like, hello.
Fuck me. The worst for that is Zara.
Oh,
Zara in Bromley, honestly, you could walk in there with your head on actual fire and no fucker would notice.
They wouldn't care.
Like, can I help you?
They'll still be putting clothes back on hangers going.
Hello, can I get a bucket of water for my burning fucking face?
Yeah, they're well annoying.
Both
Do you know one thing? This is more like just a bit of an irritation.
Like a pet peeve.
You know, like people who like are in a situation where like you're the customer, but then they're acting all flustered as if you should feel sorry for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, say you're in like a cafe, and like it's really bad customer service because like no one's coming over, but then they're just like, oh God, we're just so busy. Like, not my problem. That makes me sound really bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
You know, that sort of thing.
Bitch.
Like,
love it.
I can't explain the situation, or like if it
I think you did.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of. Enough for the purpose of this.
Okay.
Next.
Anything for you? I know I've just got people who get defensive when you make a complaint.
Yeah.
Especially because I never complain in a rude way. You, on the other hand.
I do.
But I don't. And then I'm like, don't get defensive. Just chill out. Just chill out. I've got to shout out my dad at the minute as well. He cracks me up. He cracks me up. So I went out to a legendary lunch to a Toby Carvery.
Hello. Living the dream, you say.
With my mum, dad and uncle a couple of weeks ago. And my mum is very particular about hot food. She likes her food piping hot, to the point if she comes over for dinner, you have to make sure the plate's hot.
Yeah, you actually have to
like a bit of a diva, but you know,
microwaving the plate and shit.
And then my dad, like, so she'd got her food, and then she was like, "Oh, it's just not very hot."
What was she having?
It was a roast dinner. Obviously, it's Toby Carvery.
Oh,
sorry. You don't go to Toby Carvery and have anything else. If you do, you're a muppet.
How is it not hot? The lights that the food sits under at Toby Carvery are hotter than the sun. You know, you pick up the tongs, it's like...
Yeah.
It's like, how much do I want the potato?
Yeah. So I want 10. I'm just going to do it and your hands will burn. It's fine. But then my dad sits there, he's like, well, you know, like when we go home and they ask me how did we do, I'll just tell them. I'm like, you're actually here now. Like, just tell them now. Oh, that's
right, yeah, when they email for feedback.
When I go home, I'll tell them, and I'm, what is that noise?
I don't know.
And I'm like, you're here now. Now,
just get it resolved.
Being, my dad doesn't like any conflict.
No.
And my mum is more like you in that she's used to conflict, meaning you're literally going to rip someone's eyes out. So it's like when this woman come over and like, is everything all right with your meal? And then there's that sort of like hesitation. Do we not? And then mum's like, well, no, you know, it's not very hot. And then the girl did, oh, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do? Do you want me to go and heat up for you? Couldn't have handled it better. Like, amazing. No one was angry.
No.
Everyone's laughing. Ha ha ha.
And look at...
Can't believe I farted on the show. I'm never going to live it down.
You're never going to live it down.
Oh God, can we just delete it?
I could cut that bit out. I won't. I could, but I won't. If you've enjoyed this particular episode of the podcast, please, if you can actually audibly hear the fart, please just DM the word fart at Business Marriage. Even leave us a review. I don't care about the rating today. Like, listen, guys, I don't care about the rating. Just leave the review saying the word fart. I just want you to do that, please. Somebody leave the review fart. Oh, my good God.
Oh.
Weirdly, you're still attractive to me. Like, you do your very best not to be attractive to me, yet, like, not in that actual moment. I find it sickening to my soul. But anyway, we'll be back for the next one. Next time around, we're gonna find out, are we cleverer than a 10-year-old? Ta-da! Fight on the show.
This show is a Phonic Media production.